Proverbs chapter 3, verse 5 and 6. Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your paths. You know, some scriptures have become very familiar. We can quote them, and certainly we have heard them several times. But familiarity can sometimes bring passiveness. An application of the scripture can be at times difficult and often overlooked. Because of our circumstances and events, our focus can be elsewhere. Let me give you an example. There was a church who was looking for a pastor. They were really struggling finding just the right guy. And after interviewing several people, they wrote a confidential pastor's report, and it read something like this. Adam, good man, but problem with his wife. Also, there was a reference how he and his wife enjoyed walking nude in the woods. Noah, a former pastorate of 120 years without one single convert. Also, Noah was prone to unrealistic building projects. Abraham, though the references reported wife swapping, the facts show that he never slept with another man's wife, but he did offer to share his wife with another man. Joseph, a big thinker, but brags too much, believes in dream interpreting, and has a prison record. Moses, a modest and meek man, but poor communicator, even stutters at times, sometimes blows a stack and acts unrational. Some say he left an early church over a murder charge. David, the most promising leader of all until we discovered that he had an affair with his neighbor's wife. Solomon, a great preacher, but our parsonage would never hold all his wives. Elijah, prone to depression, collapses under pressure. Elisha, reported to have lived with a single widow while at his former church. Hosea, a tender and loving pastor, but our people could never handle his wife's occupation. Jeremiah, emotionally unstable, alarmist, and negative. Isaiah, on the fringe, claims to have seen angels, has trouble with his language. Jonah, refused God's call into the ministry and was forced to obey by getting swallowed by a big fish. Told us he got spit out on land. We hung up on him. Amos, too backward and unpolished. With some seminar trading, he might have promise, but has a little bit of a hang-up with wealthy people. Might fit better in a poor congregation. John, says he's Baptist, but definitely doesn't dress like one. He slept in the outdoors for months on end, has a weird diet, and provokes denominational leaders. Peter, too blue collar, has a bad temper, is even known to curse. Had a big run-in with Paul in Antioch. Aggressive. He's a loose cannon. Paul, powerful CEO type leader and fascinating preacher. However, he's short on tact. He's unforgiving with younger ministers. He's harsh, and he's been known to preach all night. James and John, package deal preacher and associate, seemed good fit at first, but found out they have an ego problem regarding other fellow workers in seating positions. Timothy, too young. Methuselah, too old. And Jesus, well, he's single, and he seldom stays in one place very long. Judas, his references are solid, a steady plotter, good connections, knows how to handle money. We're inviting him to preach on Sunday. You know, when we look at people, it's amazing what we can focus on at times. And since none of us are perfect, it really is easy to find something that we can all question. Interestingly, the person who was perfect got crucified. So the question that we need to ask ourselves, are we harming people or helping people? Are we looking for a reason to disqualify or an opportunity to assist? Are we leveling someone or are we lifting someone? Is it self-interest or is it in everyone's best interest? In a world where climbing to the top is paramount and where the end justifies the means and where selfishness and control is of the utmost importance, the church has been given a great opportunity to present a people that just do things differently, a people who trust in the Lord with all their heart and lean not on their own understandings. And one more familiar passage of Scripture, Matthew 22:37-39. Jesus said, You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind. This is the first and great commandment, and the second is like unto it. You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Eagle's Nest, be safe.